Hey guys, got a rainy Thursday today. I'm trying to snap out of my sleep medicine this morning. Um, Hopefully you guys are doing okay. I know the district is about to push this new initiative of Schoology starting on Monday, and just know we are building the plane as we're flying it. It's going to be okay. One day at a time. It's the only way I can think about it when I get frustrated or nervous or anxious about things. All the information will be sent your way in the best way that we know how. So just be patient. And yeah. So here's some reminders. I'm going to talk about some of the minor changes that are coming. We will have set office hours. Sorry if you guys hear loud noises in the background. My dog is loudly eating. But we're going to have set office hours. Certain classes on certain days will be available for like a 2-hour block for you to pop into like a general Zoom meeting or a general Microsoft Teams meeting. It'll be more of a streamlined process for you guys versus having to keep track with 7 different Zoom conferences and all of that nature. So it should be more helpful for you guys. And then we will probably be moving towards live teaching events on these Zoom calls. So that could be interesting. And we will be doing actual assignments through Schoology every day, Monday through Friday, with actual deadlines and due dates. So no, there will not be any grades posted, but there will be some sense of accountability. So if you're one of my friends who just tracks my YouTube videos every day, but you don't go to my website, I'm going to need you starting on Monday. You have to log into Schoology because they're going to be tracking to see if students are clicking through our things. So please, please, please help me out starting Monday. 6th period, your Zoom call is today at 11 o'clock. I really can't wait to see you guys. This is the stuff that pulls me out of my feelings and emotions and things. And yesterday I went to go check in on some of my Madison kids that I used to mentor and coach, and so it was good to see them. And I'm actually going to do a Zoom call on Friday with a lot of my former students who I taught for 2 years in a row, so that will be cool. But I really love these Zoom calls. It's good to see you guys. The 6th period, hope to see you today. Here's your bell ringers, same drill. Click pause in 3, 2, and 1. All right, welcome back. The first question is a rate going to a unit rate. So you do 240 divided by 8. 240 divided by 8 because you have, I'll show you why, 240 divided by 8, divide by 8, and you get $30 for one car. That's pretty good. Y'all want to start a little business model. And how much would you get for doing 28 cars? So you do 28 cars times the $30 mark. So you're taking your unit rate and going back into a rate, $840. This is a really, really important skill for 7th grade. So $360, and you want to find out how many cars, so you just divide by $30 because you just are figuring out what you got paid. So that's only 12 cars. So over here it says label the dividend, the divisor, the quotient, and the operation. This is really important. Remember, the dividend is a number being cut up. So that is the dividend. This is the dividend. I'm going to label it as DD. And this is the dividend. The divisor is what's doing the actual cutting up of the problems. I'm going to label that as little d. So the divisor is doing the dividing, little d, and the quotient is the answer. So let's go ahead and set this up. Remember, the dividend goes inside the house, divide by 18. 18 goes into 64 3 times. 3 times 18 is 54. We get 10 left over. 108. 108 divided by 18 is 6. So we get an easy round number of 36. That is our quotient. Label that as Q. Then we're going to do 226.8 divided by 9. 9 goes into 22 2 times. 18, 4, 6. 9 goes into 46 5 times. 9 times 5 is 45. 1, bring down the 18. 9 goes into 18 2 times. Can't even read my own handwriting, but I think that says 252 is our quotient. However, we need to put our decimal back up, and it's 20, 25, and 2/10. And I'm going to skip this one just for the sake of time, okay? So it says place a check mark under the absolute value of the noted integer. So this integer right here is -2. So the absolute value of -2, meaning the distance away from 0, is a +2. This is 11. What is the absolute value of 11? It's 11, not the opposite. Remember, absolute value. Absolute value is always, Door Explorer moment, positive. Whew, I miss y'all. Okay, -13. The absolute value of -13, remember we show absolute value using these symbols, gives me 11, 12, 13 right there. Cool, so now we're going to dive into our histograms for the second day. And we are going to take this data right here in order to create our frequencies for the intervals. So we need to count to see. Actually, I want you to do this first. Click pause. Draw out this table or print it, do whatever you need to do. Okay, so our frequency is how many? So how many, what are these called? Earthworms are from 0 to 20 millimeters. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Has to be less than 20. So there's only 4 here. Okay? Less than. So the inequality that would be written for that would be x is less than 20. So 20 to 40 millimeters. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. Okay? 40 to 60. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 60 to 80, we have 1. And then 93 to less than 100 is 1. So now that we have our frequency table, we're going to build out a histogram. Okay, so using the grid and the information table to the histogram, we are going to build a histogram off of this actual frequency table. I think my previous slide might have cut off some numbers, so I apologize, but we're going to use this frequency table in order to build it out. Okay, so the first one we know is the frequency is on the left side and the millimeters is on my x-axis. So when I say left side, I meant y-axis. So we want to find how many from 0 to 20 there are earthworms. So we're going to start at the 0 and go from 0 to 4 up until the 20, and that's going to be our first bar. I'm going to color it in with a highlighter, color it in blue. Okay. Next, we are going to put 12 and the 12 earthworms from 20 to less than 40. So we're going to start this bar right where the 20 is, go all the way up to 12, over to the 40. And if you remember from yesterday's lesson, if you didn't watch it, please go back and watch it. But if you remember from yesterday's lesson, the left side of the bar is included in the data set, but the right side is not. So remember, 40 is not included for this yellow section right here. Okay? So then we have 6 from 40 to less than 60. So I'm going to draw a blue line from this 40, oops, I went above, to the 60, and I'm going to color it in green. Keep moving on. We got 60 to 80. We had two little earthworms. So from 60 to 80, we're going to 2 there, color it in. And let's use red this time. And then we have 1 from 80 to 100. 100. So use black this time. So from 180 to 100, we're going to go right there. Color in 1 little square. Let's use black again. Or gray, I guess. And there you have it. There's our histogram. So now we're going to talk about later in this lesson and tomorrow, how do we interpret and analyze the center and the spread and the shape of this histogram and what it's telling us. Let's go to the next slide. So based upon this histogram, this is exactly what I just built out, but based upon this histogram, what is a typical length for these 25 earthworms? Take a second to think about it. What would be a typical length? Do you think a typical length would be 80 to 90 millimeters? No, because that's only one right here. So you know that wouldn't be it. Would you think it would be typically 0 to 20? So this segment right here? I mean, it could be. It's more than the other one, but probably not. So what I would say is the typical length, what's my dog doing, is from 20 to 40 millimeters. And the reason for that is because 12 out of 25, you could also do a percentage, 12 out of 25 of the earthworms are in that 20 to 40 mark. So times 4, which is showing us that 48% of the earthworms, that's less than half, are from there. So if that's still less than half, I'm still not really satisfied with that answer. That's what the book kind of gave me. So let's actually include this 20 to 60 mark. So now we have 18 out of the 25 are going to be from 20 to 60 millimeters. So that's a really, really good way to kind of look at it. Look at the major part of the graph. So now we have 60% of the data included. Or sorry, not 60. We have, let's see, 18 over 25 is equal to 100 multiplied by 4, and we get 72% of the earthworms that were in our sample set. Cool. So now we're going to do something very similar, where we're going to take the data set of the circumferences of heads in millimeters, okay? So we have extra small, medium large, extra large, and extra large for you big-headed people. Okay, so we're gonna look at the ranges. So this time it put it in a inequality for us. So it's 510 through less than 530. So we're gonna underline that. We have 2 right there, so I'm going to do a little tally. I don't think that's necessary. That's actually just extra work. There's no reason for that. And if you want to pause and actually do this before me, then feel free to do that, draw it out. If not, if you just want to watch along and keep learning, that's fine as well. So we have 530 to less than 550. Make sure you keep it at the less than. So we have all of these numbers right here. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The frequency is 8. Then we have 550 to 570. I keep using these colors to help me really track this data. So 550 to 570, less than 570. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So looks like medium is going to be the most common so far, but we'll see. Large, 570 to 590. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we have 590 to 610, so 591 to a 603. That's only 4 people. And then we have 2 with the big heads. All right, so there's our frequency table right there. And now we're going to, of course, build out a histogram. So the last example for the day. So hopefully this time my frequency table matched theirs. so that's good. Didn't leave out any numbers this time. And they started the histogram for us. So I'm just going to keep that frequency table up there for us. So it has the circumference there. This mark right here, very interesting to note. It means a break in a number line. So you see how they did the intervals of 20 like they did in the table, but they didn't want, you always have to start at 0, but they didn't want to go by 10 and all of a sudden have an 800-page frequency table. So that thing's called a break, and they broke the line so they could start in the intervals that they wanted to, but still remembering that it starts at 0, so it's not a misleading graph. So what they did is they know that from 510 to 530, there was only 2 people. So that's why they're at 2 on the y-axis. And then they went up to 8 from 530 to 550, and we're going to keep building this out. So we know that from 550 to 570, less than 570, there's going to be 15. So we'll go right there. To the less than 570, you do want to go to that line. And we're going to color it in, let's say yellow. That's green. My colors are going great today. Oh boy. Okay. So those were our extra small, medium. That's my medium kids. All right. And the next group, we said there were 9. So I'm going to use my blue color, go up to the 9, go down. I'm going to color it in red this time. Maybe it'll be actually red. I'll be correct. Look at God. All right. And then we have green. So these are that was our large kids. Now we're going to do our extra large. So to 4. Yellow. And then we have our extra large, our big-headed friends, from 610 to 630, and there were only 2. So from here to here, colored in blue, just because that's what I feel like doing to represent it, and that's my business. If you don't know if you follow that girl on TikTok, extra large and my large. So now with this, if you look at this, it's a beautiful histogram, but if you see it, it's kind of like this little bell curve. And that's what our lesson tomorrow is going to be about, is center, shape, and spread. And hopefully they will allow us to continue these lessons versus making me completely change gears on Monday. But I will let you know. Alrighty, hope you guys have a good day. Talk to y'all soon. Love y'all. 6 periods. See you guys later.